Jane Austen born in England on 1765. His family belonged to the lower aristocracy. She was the seventh daughter of eight and the youngest of two daughters in the family. Since she was a little became interested in reading and at approximately 16 years of age she began to write. She wrote under a pseudonym because at the time it was not customary for a woman to write books. Her novels contain an instructive message, have fictitious experiences but with classic Aristotelian principles of verisimilitude. What makes them real due to its elements has the truth of what is narrated. Some of his books are Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, Mansfield Park, Not War Able, and she died at the age of 41 in Winchester, United Kingdom. The book I read was Pride and Prejudice. The characters in the book are Elizabeth Bennet, Mr. Dance, Jane Bennet, Mr. Bingle, and Mr. Collins, Mr. Bennet, and Mr. Bennet, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, and Caroline Berlin, among others. The book tells us who Mr. Bennet, mother of five daughters, tried to marry her daughters to rich men. Mr. Bingle, a cultured young man, takes an interest in Jane, the eldest of the daughters, who was moved to the town. Later at the dance, Mr. Bingle suggests that Elizabeth Bennet and Darcy dance together, but Bennet are the lesser social status. Darcy says that she is not very attractive. Elizabeth listens to him and makes her not stand him. The Bingles brother invite Jane to dinner, but she catches a cold and stays there. Elizabeth goes to babysit her sister, where she meets Darcy. Days later, Mr. Bennet closet relative Mr. Collins goes to propose to Elizabeth, but she rejects him. Elizabeth meets Hickman and a fear of the military, and they become friends. He tells her Darcy is bad and she believes him. One day, Mr. Bingle invites Bennet to his house for dance. At the dance, Elizabeth and Darcy dance. Her mother spreads the rumor that Jane will marry with Mr. Bingley. Meanwhile, the younger daughters, Kitty and Lydia, flee to him. Soldiers. A week later, they find out the Bingles are returning to London. Jane becomes sad, but she decides to go with her uncles, who live there, to fix between them. Elizabeth learns that Bingle was going to propose to Jane, but Darcy advised him not to. Sometime later, Darcy asks Elizabeth for her hand, but she rejects him, telling her about her sister and about Mr. Hickman. Darcy sends him a letter explaining that he interviewed in Bingle's proposal to Jane because he believed she did not love him and that Jane had tried to run away with Darcy's young sister. Elizabeth lives with her uncles and there she sees Darcy again, and he is very nice to her family, which surprised her. Later, the Bennet's youngest daughter Lydia ran away with Gilman and married him, and they found out that Darcy was at the wedding. In the end, Bingles proposed that Jane accepts, and Darcy asks for Miss Elizabeth's hand, and she also says yes.